straight off the back of the tournament, you booked peak sport fishing charters and went out spearfishing, and you got another Blue Marlin or a Blue Marlin, your first one spearfishing.
Yeah.
Can you run us through like your motivation to do it for one, and then like how the day panned out? Because to the average person, spearing a Blue Marlin is just unreal. I've only ever seen it once, and it blew my mind.
Yeah. Well, to start with, as you mentioned, big thank you to Eddie at Peak. I mean, he made it happen and facilitated it all. But, yeah, it's definitely been a bucket list fish that I wanted to tick off. We've tried it a couple of times with guys I know up here, but we certainly raised a couple but didn't have that success. So I wanted to put myself in the best position I possibly could. So I hounded Eddie for a bit.
Definitely that.
Borderline harassment, but he
stalking him.
Yeah, a little bit. Yes.
Found his weakness. Got a pack of arnotts.
Yeah, got the bickies out. And so look, he very kindly said, "Yeah, I'll take you guys out." So then I hit up Lee because we needed to have a second person in the water just in case things went south.
Yep.
So it didn't take too long. I think, what was it, Lee, about 9 o'clock we raised the first fish?
Yeah, yep, 9 o'clock we raised the first one.
Yeah, and the first, you try and stay relaxed and get a good breath of air, and that just didn't happen at all. I think my heart was sort of beating at about 180, and so the first one, I jumped in on it, tried to take a decent breath of air, and just as I surfaced, because I didn't see the fish on that first dive, just as I surfaced, he swam underneath us. Then I tried to dive down on him again, and he sort of did everything he could not to follow the script.
Yeah.
Then he sort of stayed about 20 metres away from us, and that was an unsuccessful one. But we didn't have to wait long, probably another couple of hours, I think. The second fish.
Oh,
maybe
yeah, not even. Nah,
yeah.
Nah, it wasn't long.
And anyway, that fish came in. He come in, well, he was pretty lit up, and he come in pretty quickly, as had to sort of work out who was the hunter and who was the hunted. He buzzed past, then he turned back around and sort of had the shot. It all happened so quick.
Yeah.
It's literally a matter of seconds. But we got a good holding shot on him. We had a bit of damage to our gear, lost a couple of floats, and thankfully we didn't lose the whole lot. But, we had to... I didn't manage to get hold of the third float that we were running, so we had to go for a bit of a swim, or I had to go for a bit of a swim. I was pretty keen not to follow it in the boat. I really wanted to try and make the capture as real as possible, if that makes any sense. So,
was that just for the chance of getting the record, or was it, strictly just for your own, personally you just wanted to do it as proper as you could?
Yeah, I think a bit of both. I think if you had the opportunity that it was a record fish and you didn't just do that little bit of swimming, I think I would have certainly kicked myself.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
By a little bit of swimming.
Yeah.
How far do you been? Because from what Leewald told me, it wasn't what I'd call a little bit of swimming.
In my eyes, it was like 7 marathons. I wouldn't have been doing it. I was in the boat at this stage while you chased the float.
Yeah, look, I don't know, because, I mean, to be honest with you, all I was thinking about is please don't pull that shaft,
Yeah.
So, but I don't know, Lee, 20-minute swim?
Yeah, I'd say 20 minutes, yeah. Yeah, she was pretty rough, but it was over 20 knots and you're out in 1,000 metres of water. It's not exactly swimming at the local swimming pool either,
Yeah. And I'm guessing a few silkies and that around in the water, or they just following the marlin more than anything?
Yeah, not till right at the end there was a couple of silkies, but nah. But there was a lot of current. There was heaps of current.
Yeah, well, that ran all week, really, didn't it? So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, that's just unreal tick of the box. When you went down, grabbed the marlin, I think Leewald put up a photo the other day, or maybe Peak Sport Fishing of the marlin from the view below. Was that, as soon as you hit the surface, just euphoric? That's a moment in spearfishing for you?
Oh, definitely. And as I've touched on before, it's good when you dive with people like Lee. They actually share that with you. So he was, absolutely over the moon, stoked. A couple of fist pumps and a bit of shouting and cheering and,
Yeah, I gave you a hug in the water. I was yelling. It was after the high fives and the fist pumps, I was hugging him. He's trying to hold this marlin, probably drowned him.
Yeah. Just swum 2 Ks against the current, and then you got to carry Leewald's weight.
Yeah. No, but I mean, it is. You just, it's actually quite hard to put into words how excited I was. Yeah, for sure.